see a reason to.
Yeah, I don't know why I would.
I didn't see anything in there. We'll call the meeting to order. The meeting must have been properly posted, so we don't have to read the open meeting statement, minutes of the last meeting.
Make a motion that we accept as presented.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Treasurer's report.
I didn't see Malin on the list.
No, because remember, it'll pop apart differently because I had to use the money.
Oh, yes.
And now I have a second person, so I'm really good directions.
Okay.
This is the second time the same person. Last year she did the same thing because she sent me my slip and it even says on the bottom, return $2. No, but I have it with you, so I should give it to you though, because otherwise I'll forget. But just so you know, what you gave me for paperwork is not rabies.
Oh, really?
That's Lyme's disease.
I didn't do it.
I know.
My wife did
I know what I'm saying. And
Yeah.
the rabies will expire in February.
that.
Here's a gift there.
Oh, good. I left him a message.
Yeah, you can, I'm really calling to find out what Jody's area code is. I go, why? He says, oh, it's something about my dog thing. So you're on, just print it off. Take it.
Yep. I didn't have this one.
What's the special? $160?
Oh, that was a delinquent special assessment. It was $160 garbage, and then the interest of it was $26.40.
Oh, okay.
So that must be a
In
year
Oakland.
late, 2 years late?
18%, it might only be about 2 years.
And I never know who the parcel is.
I'll make a motion that we accept the treasurer's report as presented.
I'll second.
Y'all heard the motion, that Haywish building permit, is that the one that Barry was wondering about?
No, that's a different one.
That's a different one, okay. Y'all heard the motion, in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Highway maintenance report. You will see on the checklist, also there's got $310. They were cutting brush over on Jim Pownell's, and I had them do a little section
I noticed on
Wild Road. Evanswood?
Evanswood Road, heck, I cut too.
That's the county did. I have a bill here.
I didn't get a thank you from Scott Close,
You probably won't get it.
Yeah.
That's what they cut.
those trees on there, yeah, well,
Right.
the branches, yeah. And they cut quite a few of them.
Yeah. The bill was $1,892, but it's a 60/40. It says please pay only 60% of this, but that'll be when we get the statement. That'll be on there. Then there's one snow plowing bill if you want to look at it.
Thank you for,
So far.
so far so good.
Yeah.
Compared to East Coast.
Oh, yeah, in
Yeah.
Chicago.
Chicago.
Yeah.
Chicago.
Even for the county, it's just running up and down 10 salt and lane lane. There's
Yeah.
really been that much snow.
Yeah.
The snow plowing bill was $1,400, and I don't really know. I guess I can't tell if it was more than one time or not. But there ain't been many times.
And hopefully the price of blacktop will be less this year, for all the city's done. So,
Although they're striking.
They're predicting blacktop will be about the same.
what was that?
Yeah.
Actually, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Because it could be more.
They haven't got no bids on oil yet, but they've kind of talked, they're wondering. They said pretty much something same as last year, which is better than, well,
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
other than that, anybody got anything that they're dissatisfied on the road?
No.
Good. I think they've done a great job.
Today they plowed early because they called Sunday morning already. They were trying to line up everybody because everybody was out on 10 trying to keep that clean. They were trying to get their drivers straightened out, and I said, just figure on doing it. Probably could have got 5 without, but
Yeah, that wind
Yeah, you never
There's a
know.
lot of drift in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the worst part, you never know where it's gonna drift. Okay, Jim, fire department, ambulance.
January 27th, 7 p.m. at the fire station. The radio station, radio system. It's called Rip and Run text and email paging system. The county's got it about a quarter operational, so it's working but not complete. No news on the grants yet. The revised district agreement in progress. Bob Ehrenberg and myself have to get together and put our notes together. We just haven't had a chance to do that, so there's no news on that. Chief was, there's no change in the officers, so the chief, deputy chief, and assistant chief is Tom, Bob, and Dan in that order. So, report on ISO. They said that last time the ISO report was like 10 years ago. Now they're telling him that it's going to be like 5 years. But we have good reason. Cullen and Nuring are going to go to a chief seminar at Folk Field at Camp Douglas at the end of this month. We'll go, okay. Firefighter Experience Camp, March 21st. They call it Outlaw Races Standby, February 14th and 15th. That's the fire and ice. So the fire department has to stand by, so we had to approve that. And then the State Fires Convention, we approved that for Tom and Dan to go in Milwaukee, and that's the end of June. Focus on Energies replaced all the lights in the station. Approximately $3,000. Cost the department $799. That was a good deal. That was it.
Replace them with LED?
No,
No?
I think the T8 or those T8s. Yep. Something like that. They like the ones that have 4 bulbs. They replace them with 2. The fixtures and everything, and then there's just as much light, if not more. So I did it a few years ago in my office like that. It was really cheap. Yeah, that was nice. I mean, it just brightened everything up.
Yeah, it's amazing. Scott did some in the barn down there. It's unbelievable how much less bulbs.
Less
more
bulbs.
light.
Yep. 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 The issue is that, okay, we Energies is doing it, but they're raising their rates, so they're giving you a light, so that you're not going to save any money. You know.
And yet they don't have to produce as much.
Right. Right.
But it's supposed to be, they last longer and everything's.
Yeah, you say that. I've had mine like 3 years, and I haven't changed a light bulb yet. Wow. Stop it.
There you go.
Tomorrow I'll have 5.
Yeah, and then for 99 cents.
Yeah,
$5 per
$10.
month.
Yeah.
They're all weighted on, that's, the way they rate lamps, the light bulb lamps, is when 50% of them fail. Okay? So you could have one fail tomorrow, and it's still figured into that
50%.
50%.
Okay.
Crazy people.
Okay, checklist. Only 3 of them.
That's not much.
What was, you didn't make one out for the energies?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's always a debit.
That's always a debit.
Oh, okay.
They take that hard.
Okay.
Oh, I said, okay. I'll make a motion to approve.
I second.
Take second to approve. All turns, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carried. We energies sent they want to know about basically weight limits on the thing. I all sent it in and told them we didn't have any restrictions because if somebody's out of light, all it goes down.
Let 'em do it.
You gotta get it fixed. So I'll just, sign this anyway, so. You want to fill it out, then send it back. I don't see that. You can find a place to sign it. You guys get a notice on the February 19th. Got an agenda here, if you want to look at it, see it.
Who's gonna be talking?
Yeah.
That's how it's been. Is that fashion?
It must be.
Okay. Okay.
I think they send an email. I think it's an email they send.
Is it an email?
Or is it a postcard? No, maybe it's a postcard.
Well, give me this postcard.
Oh, it's a postcard.
Did I give you this, Jim?
Did what?
Did I give you a copy of this? I thought I
Yes,
did
you
last
did.
meeting.
You did.
Must have kept my copy in here and didn't
I
realize.
took mine home.
Okay. Just so you got it.
Mhm.
Future references. And I do have one other thing. Jim, I told you about that weight limit sign
Mhm.
on River Road. We got a 10-ton weight limit on the road. I believe we passed the ordinance back when they were doing X. And the dump trucks
Sure.
running through there.
Yep.
And there's a 45-mile speed limit, but the bridge weight limit sign is 45 tons, so I don't understand why we have to remove that sign. And I got Dean looking into it, because I never
the
been
bridge sign?
notified about anything like that before.
On the bridge.
Yeah. So it's rated for 45, you think you wanna see that on there?
What? Well, if you're over 45 ton,
You're
in violation.
living up the road.
you're over the
Over the
weight
road.
limit,
Yeah.
no matter what you're on. So.
Yeah.
I say, I don't know why, I'm wondering if they looked at that 10-ton weight limit sign and thought it was on a bridge and not the road.
So you can only put 10 ton
On the road. But you get to the bridge.
But you can get to the bridge and then you can put 35 more ton on it.
Right.
I don't, as far as I'm concerned, we should leave that 10-ton weight limit on that road.
Yeah, I do too.
You know, other than, I guess Stibbs's are the one that's farming most of the stuff there. And they both know that they gotta go
And
out
around.
on Sioux Road, and not go across the bridge. So I don't see any reason to change that. And I'm sure we did an ordinance back then, because I think, if I remember right, we were told that if we put a weight limit on it, we have to have an ordinance. Have you got your ordinances filed so you could find it easy?
Well, I'm gonna be pulling them all up anyway, if
Okay.
somebody wants to see them, so, you know, look it
Yeah.
We don't have many, do we?
No.
up. You know, and there might be ordinances
Yep.
that were done before,
Yeah.
you know, I was even involved in where they are. That's why,
And the other thing I got is, we gotta change next meeting date. So what does work? How about, March 8th instead of, or March 9th instead of the 2nd? Good, Jody?
Yep.
All right, March 9th.
It's good.
6:00. Other than that, I guess that's it.
The only thing I have is Bill and I went to
Oh, yeah.
the implement of husbandry meeting in town of Weyauwega on the 22nd. And they kind of went through, that was a packed house too, standing room only.
Really?
Yeah. They went through step by step on how it has to work, and it sounds like they're having a permit roundup for all these farmers or people who work as farmers to apply for the permits. Do we have to be there
I think,
on the 18th, on
Yeah.
February 18th? It starts at 8 AM and it runs till like
Yeah.
5 or 6 PM.
I think what's gonna happen is each town can go whenever they wanna and then see who's applied and then bring the permits back and sign them.
Okay.
I think that's.
And what it's for is anything over 93,000 pounds. So it's not everything, but if they wanna go over 93,000 pounds,
They have to get a special.
they have to get a special permit, and they gotta designate the road and the time and time frame. They narrowed it down to make it a little more simple, I think.
So it has depended on how many axles too.
Yep. Sure does.
Actually, the dual axle tankers, newer tankers are probably worse than the quad axle ones.
Oh, yeah.
As far as being
Yeah.
overweight.
What it, and the way apparently these manure haulers, they're like 140, 150,000 pounds.
Some of them bigger ones.
Yeah,
That's a lot of crap.
that's a lot of crap.
Now,
So,
say, Larson Salvage, if they had a load going on, that's.
it's not agricultural,
So they don't.
they're
need
under
a-
commercial.
Okay, so they don't need a permit.
Right, they need to get it from, well, they can't go overweight on the road,
Yeah.
Well, I can't go overweight the roads.
on a town road, they still have to abide by the 80,000 pounds.
They still have.
Well, this is at 93,000.
This is agricultural.
Agriculture got a 15% increase of the normal. And what's gonna happen is, once the loggers hear that, they're gonna come, and then as the regular trucking industry hears that, they're gonna come. It's gonna end up to be a mess.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, Jim, we should maybe
Go over there?
Try and go over there.
Think later in the afternoon. I have it on my calendar right now, but
Whatever.
I don't know what time.
Yeah. What, it was 8 to
8 to 4, 8 to 5, something like that.
like that, yeah.
So,
You wanna go
sure.
about, finish your day, go, so we get there at 3 or
Yeah.
2 or
Yeah, I'm good after 2.
after 2?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll put 2 o'clock on my calendar.
Okay.
I'll probably give you a buzz that morning. See, I got highway meeting today, so I won't have one before then, otherwise I can find out exactly how many are asking for a permit.
I did meet Kurt in the grocery store, and we walked out together, and he said that they were working on it, this was a week ago, they were working on their permits for their haulers. They say this is where we want to go, so their haulers. See, if Kurt doesn't own the equipment, they can't apply for the permit, or the farmer doesn't own the permit. If they subcontract it out, that's who has to do it. So.
They're doing the permits for what happening.
Well, they're telling them, it has to say where they're gonna, the route and time. You know, is it, these 2 weeks, or this 6 months, or whatever, I don't know.
Well, and that, I mean, that depends a lot on the weather and.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's, I don't know what it's gonna turn out to be, because
It's gonna be one of those things that's hard to police.
Yeah, who's gonna enforce it?
And then, if they're overweight, if they think they're overweight, you gotta take them to a scale.
you can't take them to a scale. You can't take them off the route. so
Can't
it's
take them
gotta
off the
be a-
route, 'cause
It's
they don't have a
gotta be
permit.
a portable scale. Who's gonna have the portable scale? The sheriff and the highway commissioner are talking, and they're trying to figure this out. And I don't know, you know, some towns are saying you're definitely not going on this road or that road. But if there's farm fields there, and you wanna go, you probably just have to go with a 92,000 load, and not an overload.
Right.
So,
But who's going to check
Yeah.
that?
you know,
That's-
Or if they can haul 100,000,
Yeah.
how you gonna know?
You don't, yeah.
I mean, the truck is built for,
Yeah.
it's not gonna squat or anything like that, you know.
You know, and it's not the farmers, it's a hauler.
It's a hauler.
Basically.
I personally think River Road and School Road are the only two that we really have to worry about.
Well, a little bit of Anklin Road, I think, but they're gonna be on it anyway, because they got fields on it.
Yeah.
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 You can't,
I mean,
if it's 100 how many feet? 1,500 feet or something like that? They can go driveway to driveway without a permit? Something like that,
Yeah,
which makes sense.
Sure, sure.
you know, Wild Road in the spring, probably a couple of weeks, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's
If
pretty
Quaker
good.
Town goes that way,
I
then
don't know if
it-
they do either, but what about Tom? Gidnorf?
well, he'd be on, probably over on Springer and Evans, but I think they're good enough.
Yeah.
Pretty solid.
And I think he doesn't have manure storage per se.
Oh, doesn't he?
I think
Okay.
he's got a haul like every 2 weeks or 3 weeks. So, you know, you're not gonna have that steady traffic.
Mhm.
And what are you gonna tell a guy?
Yeah,
I mean,
you can't take the load,
yeah,
it's their livelihood, so.
Smaller one, and you know your haulers
Yeah.
take as big a load as they can.
you know, like Quantum, most of it is hauled with semis, and they're gonna be within the weight.
Well, they're a commercial vehicle, and they're gonna
Yeah.
be within their weight.
They'll be within their weight, so as soon as everybody gets rid of them big tankers, there really be no problem.
Yeah.
But I don't know, do we wanna say nothing over 92, or do we wanna?
Well, I think we have to, I think we have to abide by the, we agreed to.
Or we can permit them to go that there.
Oh, yeah, we can permit them to go wherever we want.
So, you know, that's a decision we'd have to make. And I say, like for Scott, you go down Galilee Road, our end is good, but you get into Galilee and he's crap.
Well, that's, they said that was the issue, you go from township to township, you need permits in each township. So at least the county is doing this kind of roundup, and the way they said they're gonna have, okay, you're going to Town of Weyauwega, all those go in this box. Town of Linden, this box, Wolf River and so on, so, which is nice that they're doing that, but there's gonna be a lot of overlapping.
And then what happens?
What if we say yes and they say no?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd say it's
Well,
gonna be
can't find
fun.
another
And then
road.
they said there's an issue when it's counties,
Oh, sure.
two different counties, and the county might not have, what did they agree on, F? was it?
Yeah.
What if they didn't agree on that? Whatever. It's gonna be a mess. It's one of those that are gonna be,
Then if you go through what you do,
Unenforced.
you're on a state road, now you gotta go to the state.
Oh, sure, sure.
I don't know.
so the only other thing I had is when, one day a couple weeks ago, I got a visit from a lady who has a driveway, and she apologized. Didn't know they had a driveway. I said, well, we don't have a driveway, or that's what we're going to. So she said, okay. And she said she put in what they could afford, and I said, you're building a house back there or not? No, we're trying to clean the brush out. That's what she said, so they're trying to get back in there, there's no other way to get back in there, so. And I advised her that she's gonna get a visit from, I didn't know if it was gonna be the building inspector or the assessor.
She'll get notified.
Tell me, tell me.
And, why, you got a building ordinance? I go, yep. So, she's gonna plead at the mercy of the court, I guess, I don't know. She just didn't know, so. If we, once we go through those ordinances, if there's just a few, especially like the building ordinance, and if we do a driveway ordinance, I think we should notify it, send a postcard out. Just point of information, we have these ordinances. I don't know, little mailing, you can't put it in the paper, because not everybody gets paper,
Right.
you know. I just, I don't know.
Communication is difficult, you know?
Well,
How
and
to
the
do
thing
it.
is, I guess if I wouldn't have been so set with zoning, I wouldn't have known that if I wanted to put new steps on, if I was gonna, I never
Mhm.
know that.
Mhm.
Would you know that if you're gonna clear out trees off in your property, unless you're gonna build them, you have to get a cutting permit? Unless you're gonna build, burn the wood yourself? Did you know that?
If you're gonna sell them,
You gotta sell.
If you're gonna sell them.
right,
Okay.
harvest them,
Harvest.
harvest them.
Really, you need a permit for that?
You need a permit for that.
But if you're gonna cut them, or somebody's gonna cut them for firewood, it's acceptable.
Yeah. So
Is that a county?
It's a county one. And that you don't go to zoning there, you go to the clerk's. Get that. Sandy did it. Yeah, there's, you know, it's almost like be resident beware, there's a law out there. Yeah.
Can't do much of anything.
And we were talking tonight about this fence, you know, putting a fence up, you know, like, look what happened with Weymouth. Weymouth had to pay for part of the fence for Dale.
Sure.
And I've yet to see his animals ever in that field,
Yeah, and that's a state law.
and that's a state law.
You have to share it, don't you?
You
Know
share
what
it.
You share
You
it.
go to the middle, yeah, you go to, because I got nailed on it from the designer.
Okay.
Dale called me up and says, when are you gonna put that fence up? What? And designer put his cows in there for about a week, because it's all marshy on that side of the road, you know, but I had to, put 4 strands of barbed wire up.
Something about you look one way and you get half of it,
Yeah,
or you look one way.
you go to the
get
middle,
half, you get that half.
and you go to your right.
You go to your right, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
and the other guy is coming from the other direction, and he goes to his right. And,
Back to 1892, I think.
yeah,
Probably right.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and then it's up to the town board to make
A decision.
the decision, because we went to see,
We went to-
a meeting then.
Yep, meeting, yep.
Dave Snyder wasn't built in sense, and she was just all,
Oh,
you gotta make him do it.
that doesn't surprise me.
When we put our fence up, we put fence because we had animals, we were the ones that were, when we
Well, yeah.
took it down now, I mean, that just made sense. I
Doesn't
didn't-
it? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we were putting up, we put 4 strands of, 4 or 3, whatever there was, of electric, and we just put it up, and then we were no longer needed it, we took it down, but yeah, even
You
though
think that'd be
it was
your
budding, I
responsibility.
mean, it was budding their property, but
Yeah.
it was, they were, it was our animals.
But you're right, it probably goes back to the 1890s or
Yeah,
something.
but it was
like
our
that.
animal, I never knew that there was so much.
Apparently when everybody had animals running all over the farm, that's when.
No free range anymore.
Yeah, that's probably.
And that way you share the cost of keeping your animals on your side and theirs.
They're on their side, because both people probably had animals.
Yeah,
Right.
but,
I just think if only one side has animals, it should be that person's problem to deal with the fence.
all those people that move from the city out into the country don't know that.
Got that right.
But
Oh, no, there was one guy that moved from Neenah to the township. He knew it.
Oh, is that right?
Oh, yeah.
he knew that that other one had the,
About the method.
Yeah.
So I'm glad she approached.
Mm-hmm. She came in my office and we sat and visited for maybe 15, 20 minutes. It was very nice. So, very cool.
Good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I told her, I mean, she goes, okay. So,
You know, when it comes to, when they're using that driveway steady, they're gonna find out that.
well, I told her, I said, have you looked at the driveway? She says, yeah, we had a talk.
Yeah.
So I said, probably by the time you have to repair it, the ordinance will be in effect, and you'll have to repair it to the town's specifications. And she goes, okay. You know,
Yeah.
If there's any issues with water before that.
yeah, well, that's gonna be the issue, is water coming down, it's gonna wash it out. And then didn't you find out that Fox didn't have to put it in?
Chris Johnson swears that they didn't do it.
Oh, is that?
I didn't ask her who did it.
He says, I would have called you because he says, we've run into enough problems doing it that, you know, I imagine they install enough of them, they better check with the town and make sure there's no
Ordinance.
no ordinance to do it. Well, where do you read that letter about the mining, Jim? That one,
I didn't have a chance to read that yet, so. Clintonville.
it comes mainly from the Sierra Club, so you know.
Oh, sweet.
You know what.
Just on sand mining?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Did you get one, Bill?
No.
No.
I got mine today.
It just come today.
Oh.
Maybe you get one, yeah.
From Clintonville.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was from my cousin.
You got one, huh?
I got one.
Yeah, you probably did, because I think it was
No.
addressed to.
Typed and then red ink on the stuff they wanna oppose on it.
You know, sends a Christmas letter at Valentine's.
Does she live in County Road Oak?
Yeah.
Maybe she sent it to you.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
I haven't read it
When
yet.
I opened it up, I went right to, where did that come from?
I did too. I went back to the envelope and I saved
And
the
we didn't
envelope.
even bother opening it.
Oh, okay.
The first paragraph tells it all. So I got nothing else then.
Motion in order to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
And I'll second.
Aye.
All heard it, you're all in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Get out here before you get in.